Have you ever sat at the kitchen table in the morning, lifted that warm cup of coffee, and thought it was the friend that would always be by your side? For decades, we've been told that coffee sharpens the mind and protects the heart. But here's the hidden truth. After the age of 60, your body changes in ways that make certain coffees not just unhelpful, but dangerous. I have seen patients who believed they were doing the right thing, choosing healthy decaf or using sugar-free creamers, yet within months their cholesterol climbed, their memory dimmed, and their legs weakened. The same cup that gave comfort began quietly stealing years from their lives. This isn't your fault. The food industry is clever at hiding risks behind bright labels and half-truths. But you deserve to know the facts, and here's the good news. When prepared the right way, coffee can still be your ally. It can protect your brain, steady your heart, and even help preserve your muscles against sarcopenia, the silent loss of strength that affects millions of older Americans every year. So before you take your next sip tomorrow morning, let's walk together through the truth. I'll show you the coffees you should never touch after 60 and the ones that can become part of your healing routine. Tell me, what kind of coffee do you drink every day? And do you sometimes skip breakfast and only have coffee? Share your answers in the comments below. I personally read and replied to each one because your story matters here. Number 1. The silent body changes after 60 that make coffee riskier. When you cross the milestone of 60, your body is not the same as it was in your 40s or 50s. Every organ slows down in small but meaningful ways. The kidneys filter waste more slowly. The liver, which once cleared chemicals with ease, now takes longer to process additives. The heart muscle, after millions of beats, becomes more sensitive to sudden spikes in cholesterol and blood pressure. And the brain itself, your most precious organ, is less tolerant of toxins and swings in energy supply. This is why the very same cup of coffee that once gave you energy and clarity can, after 60, trigger very different reactions. Instead of a gentle lift, it may lead to a racing heart. Instead of sharp focus, you might feel jittery or foggy. Instead of fueling your muscles, it can silently accelerate their breakdown, a condition doctors call sarcopenia. I have seen this pattern countless times in my patients. One man in his early 70s came to me convinced he was developing dementia. His memory lapses worried his wife. But after a thorough review of his habits, the truth was simpler. He was drinking 3 cups of unfiltered coffee every day, believing it was the most natural choice. His cholesterol had risen, his arteries had stiffened, and blood flow to the brain had quietly declined. Once he switched to filtered coffee and improved his morning routine, his clarity returned within months. The lesson is clear. After 60, your body demands a different relationship with coffee. It is no longer just about staying awake or enjoying the taste. It is about protecting your arteries, supporting your muscles, and guarding your memory. So I ask you, have you noticed any changes in how your body reacts to coffee lately? Do you feel the same steady energy as before? Or do you sometimes feel your heart race or your stomach tighten? Share your experiences in the comments. Your story might help someone else recognize the signals their own body is sending. Because the truth is simple but powerful. Coffee is neither your enemy nor your savior. It is a tool. And after 60, knowing how to use that tool wisely can mean the difference between steady strength and silent decline. Number 2, 4 coffees that quietly damage seniors' health. The first truth we must face together is this. Not all coffees are created equal. Some carry hidden dangers that can slowly erode your health after 60. These are the cups that look innocent, smell inviting, and even carry promises of being sugar-free or heart-friendly, yet they are quietly raising cholesterol, stressing your kidneys, and even fogging your memory. Let us look at the 4 most dangerous types. The first is flavored instant coffee packets. They are quick, convenient, and often sold with sweet aromas like hazelnut or vanilla. But behind the bright packaging lies a chemical called propylene glycol, a petroleum byproduct used to dissolve artificial flavors. Younger people may process small amounts, but in older adults, the kidneys struggle to clear it. Over time, it builds up, creating a toxic burden. Add in hydrogenated oils and artificial sweeteners, and you have a recipe for higher cholesterol insulin resistance, and digestive distress. The second is coffee with artificial non-dairy creamers. Many seniors reach for these, thinking they are safer for lactose intolerance. The reality is harsher. Most creamers are not milk at all, but mixtures of synthetic oils, stabilizers, and sugar derivatives. They often contain titanium dioxide, the same compound used in paint, which can trigger oxidative stress in cells. Hydrogenated oils raise LDL cholesterol, while corn syrup solids spike blood sugar, leaving you with crashes and weight gain around the belly. The third is decaf processed with chemical solvents. Supermarket shelves are filled with these, and the labels rarely tell the whole truth. Methylene chloride, a solvent used to strip caffeine, is also used in industrial cleaners. Studies have detected residues in commercial decaf brands, and while levels may be below legal limits, they still place stress on the brain, liver, and kidneys, especially in older adults whose detox systems are slower. Finally, unfiltered boiled coffee, such as French press or Turkish coffee, carries a hidden compound called cafestol. This chemical directly stimulates the liver to produce LDL cholesterol, the dangerous kind. In seniors, cafestol can raise LDL by more than 40 points in just a few weeks, accelerating plaque buildup in arteries and heightening the risk of heart attack and stroke. So here's the question. Which of these 4 coffees sits on your counter right now? Take a look, be honest, and share in the comments. Awareness is the first step, and your story could help someone else choose more wisely. Number 3, the real consequences of wrong coffee habits. When harmful coffee habits continue year after year, the damage does not remain hidden. It shows up in blood tests, in memory lapses, and in the way your body feels every morning. The consequences are real, measurable, and often frightening for those over 60. One of the clearest outcomes is elevated cholesterol. Unfiltered or chemically treated coffees can push LDL cholesterol, the bad kind, higher in just weeks. For a senior whose arteries are already less flexible, this creates the perfect storm for plaque buildup, heart attacks, and strokes. Imagine seeing your cholesterol rise by 40 points without changing your diet at all, simply from your morning cup. That is a danger too many ignore. Then comes the brain. Artificial creamers and solvent-treated decaf are not neutral. They place toxins in your bloodstream that cross into brain tissue. Over time, this can reduce clarity, increase confusion, and mimic the early stages of dementia. I have had patients who feared they were losing themselves when in truth, the culprit was hiding in their coffee pot. Once they changed their habits, their focus and memory noticeably improved. The muscles are not spared either. Seniors who drink coffee instead of breakfast, or who rely on sugary creamers, are fueling sarcopenia, the slow and steady loss of muscle. Without protein and proper fuel, the body begins to break down muscle tissue to keep blood sugar stable. Over months and years, this leads to weaker legs, poor balance, and a greater risk of falls. A stumble that might have been harmless at 50 can become a hip fracture at 70. Digestive issues are another consequence. Artificial additives disrupt gut bacteria, causing inflammation and poor nutrient absorption. This not only leads to stomach discomfort, but also weakens immunity, leaving older adults more vulnerable to infections. The biggest mistake is believing that a little won't hurt. The truth is that coffee is a daily habit. What you drink every single morning has far more power than a rare indulgence. Each cup is either protecting your body or pushing it toward decline. So I ask you directly, have you noticed changes in your cholesterol, memory, or muscle strength over the years? Could your morning coffee be part of the reason? Share your thoughts below because your experience may hold the key for someone else searching for answers. Number 4, the safer coffees that can become your healing allies. Now that we have spoken about the dangers, let us shift to hope. Coffee does not have to be your enemy after 60. In fact, when chosen wisely, it can protect your brain, steady your heart, and even support your muscles against age-related loss. Think of it not as giving up your morning ritual, but as transforming it into a healing ally. The first safe option is organic Arabica coffee, medium roast, brewed with filtered water. Arabica beans are naturally richer in antioxidants that calm inflammation, And when paired with a paper filter, they allow the good compounds through while trapping caffeistal, the cholesterol-raising oil. Many of my patients who made this simple switch saw their cholesterol improve without medication changes. The second option is cold brew. Steeping beans slowly in cold water for 12 to 24 hours lowers acidity by nearly 70%. For seniors who suffer from reflux or indigestion, this can mean enjoying coffee again without discomfort. Cold brew also preserves more antioxidants, which support blood vessels and even protect eyesight. The third option is coffee with collagen peptides. This is a favorite among my patients dealing with stiff joints or weakening muscles. Collagen is the most abundant protein in your body, but production falls steadily with age. By stirring in a scoop of collagen powder, your cup becomes a source of joint support and muscle protection. The fourth is coffee blended with MCT oil and true Ceylon cinnamon. MCTs are medium-chain triglycerides that convert quickly into ketones, an energy source for both the brain and muscles. Cinnamon helps regulate blood sugar and keep circulation smooth. Together, they create a gentle, nourishing boost that many seniors find stabilizes their energy for the whole morning. Now let me ask you, dear friends, which of these healthier coffees feels most inviting to you? Have you ever tried cold brew or maybe added collagen to your cup? Do you notice a difference in how your body feels afterward? Share your personal stories and feelings in the comments below. I read them carefully and I often respond. Your experience may inspire another person who is struggling with the same fears. Remember, coffee is not just a drink. After 60, it can either be a thief of health or a companion for healing. The choice truly rests in your hands every single morning. Number 5, the brain-muscle connection and why coffee choices matter. Most people think of coffee as a pick-me-up for the mind, but after 60, it plays a role in something far deeper. The link between your brain and your muscles. The two are not separate systems. They are connected by nerves, blood vessels, and the energy supply that fuels both. When one is weakened, the other suffers. Unhealthy coffee choices, those filled with additives, solvents, or unfiltered oils, create silent stress. They raise cholesterol, restrict blood flow, and reduce the delivery of oxygen to the brain. When the brain does not receive steady energy, its signals to the muscles become weaker. This is why some seniors describe their legs as heavy, trembling, or slow to respond. What feels like just aging is often the chain reaction of poor fuel reaching both brain and body. Sarcopenia, the gradual loss of muscle after midlife, is one of the greatest threats to independence in older adults. Each year after the age of 50, people lose 1 to 2% of muscle mass if they do not intervene. Wrong coffee habits worsen the process by spiking blood sugar, disrupting hormones, and stripping away the protein balance your body needs. Over time, the results appear as weaker steps, slower walking, and a higher risk of falls. The right coffee, however, can support this vital brain-muscle connection. A clean Arabica brew with no artificial additives keeps cholesterol under control, allowing smoother blood flow. Cold brew lowers irritation in the stomach, helping seniors absorb nutrients better. Adding collagen peptides supplies the very building blocks your muscles and joints crave. An MCT oil blended into your morning cup delivers ketones, clean energy for both neurons and muscle fibers. I tell my patients, think of your morning coffee as the switch that sets your whole system for the day. It can either cloud your mind and weaken your steps, or it can sharpen your memory and steady your stride. So let me ask you directly, when you drink your coffee, do you notice changes in your balance or your energy? Do you feel lighter on your feet, or do you sometimes feel drained and shaky? Share your reflections in the comments. Your words may help another person recognize what their own body is trying to say. The truth is simple. After 60, every cup of coffee is more than a habit. It is a choice that shapes the strength of your mind and the stability of your body. Number 6, turning coffee into a morning health ritual. For many of my patients, coffee is the very first thing they reach for each morning. But here is the truth. What you pair with that cup and how you drink it can determine whether it strengthens or weakens your health after 60. Coffee is not just a beverage, it is a routine, and routines are powerful. The first step is hydration. Before pouring your coffee, drink a glass of warm water. This simple act supports your kidneys, primes your digestion, and ensures your body is ready to process caffeine and nutrients. Without it, coffee alone can leave you dehydrated, dizzy, or with a racing pulse. Next comes food. Too many older adults skip breakfast and drink only coffee. This is a dangerous mistake. When you drink coffee on an empty stomach, your blood sugar spikes and crashes, forcing your body to draw energy by breaking down muscle tissue. Over time, this accelerates sarcopenia and weakens your legs. Instead, pair your coffee with protein-rich foods. A boiled egg, Greek yogurt, or a slice of whole grain toast with almond butter. These choices provide lasting energy and prevent muscle loss. Movement is another key. I encourage my patients to treat coffee as a partner to light morning exercise. A short walk around the block, 10 minutes of stretching, or gentle chair exercises activate the muscles and improve circulation. Combined with the steady lift of caffeine, this routine enhances mental clarity and reduces stiffness throughout the day. Finally, consider adding healing touches to your coffee itself. A sprinkle of true Ceylon cinnamon helps regulate blood sugar. A scoop of collagen peptides protects joints. A teaspoon of MCT oil provides clean energy for the brain. These small additions turn coffee from a simple drink into part of a healing ritual. Now let me ask you, how do you currently drink your morning coffee? Do you reach for it before water, before food, before movement? Or do you already have a ritual that supports your health? Share your habits in the comments because your morning choices may inspire others in this community to improve their own. Remember this truth: after 60, coffee is no longer just about waking up. It is about setting the tone for your heart, your muscles, and your brain for the day ahead. Number 7, lessons from decades of patience. Over 30 years of practice, I have witnessed the impact of coffee choices on real lives. These stories are not from textbooks. They come from men and women who could easily be your neighbor, your friend, or even you. One patient, a retired teacher in her late 60s, came to me convinced she was developing dementia. She struggled with names and misplaced her keys daily. But after reviewing her habits, we discovered she was drinking unfiltered French press coffee 3 times a day. Her LDL cholesterol had risen sharply, restricting blood flow to her brain. Once she switched to filtered Arabica coffee and reduced her intake, her mental clarity began to return. Within 6 months, she no longer feared early Alzheimer's. Another case was a grandfather in his 70s who suffered from severe acid reflux. He loved coffee but avoided it for years because of the pain it caused. When I introduced him to cold brew, steeped slowly overnight, his symptoms eased. For the first time in a decade, he enjoyed coffee again, this time without discomfort and with the added benefit of better blood sugar control. Then there was a woman in her early 80s with aching joints and stiffness. She believed it was simply the price of aging. I encouraged her to add collagen peptides to her morning coffee. Over several months, she reported less knee pain, improved mobility, and even stronger nails and skin. Her family noticed she was more active and cheerful. Proof that small changes can ripple through every part of life. These stories highlight a powerful truth. The way you drink your coffee shapes the quality of your years. The wrong habits quietly harm. The right choices bring strength, clarity, and joy back into daily living. So let me ask you, have you ever made a small change to your coffee or morning routine that brought surprising benefits? Did your energy improve or did your aches lessen? Share your experience in the comments. Your story can encourage others who may feel stuck or hopeless. After all, healing often begins not in a clinic, but in everyday choices, one thoughtful cup of coffee at a time. Number 8, breaking the myths that mislead seniors about coffee. Over the years, I have heard countless myths about coffee repeated by my patients. Many of these beliefs are harmless at first glance, but when followed daily after 60, they can create real health risks. Let us clear away the confusion together. The first myth is that decaf is always safe. Many seniors reach for decaffeinated coffee believing it protects their heart and blood pressure. But most supermarket decaf is stripped of caffeine using chemical solvents like methylene chloride, the same compound found in industrial cleaners. Even in low doses, it can place stress on the brain, liver, and kidneys. Safer alternatives do exist, such as Swiss water-processed decaf, but assuming all decaf is safe is a dangerous mistake. The second myth is that non-dairy creamers are healthier than milk. This is one of the most common misconceptions I see. The truth is, many creamers can contain hydrogenated oils, corn syrup solids, and titanium dioxide. These ingredients raise cholesterol, spike blood sugar, and accelerate memory decline. A splash of organic whole milk or unsweetened almond milk is far better than the sugar-free creamers many seniors rely on. The third myth is that black coffee is too harsh for older adults. Some of my patients avoid it entirely, thinking it will upset their stomach. But the problem is not the coffee itself, but how it is brewed. Cold brew, for example, reduces acidity by up to 70%, making it gentler on digestion while preserving antioxidants. Choosing the right method allows you to enjoy black coffee without discomfort. The final mistake is skipping breakfast and drinking only coffee. This habit forces the body to burn muscle to stabilize blood sugar, accelerating sarcopenia, the gradual loss of strength that robs so many seniors of independence. Coffee is best enjoyed alongside protein, not as a replacement for food. So I ask you, which of these myths have you believed? Have you ever chosen a creamer thinking it was the healthier option, or reached for decaf assuming it was safe? Share your reflections in the comments. Your honesty may help someone else recognize the changes they need to make. The truth is simple. Coffee itself is not the problem. The myths surrounding it are. By breaking these false beliefs, you can transform your morning cup from a hidden threat into a daily source of protection and healing. Number 9, coffee as a source of hope and healing after 60. Too often I meet men and women who feel it is too late to change. They believe their health is already set in stone, that muscle loss, memory lapses, and heart problems are simply their destiny. But I want to assure you, as someone who has walked beside patients for 3 decades, it is never too late. Even small changes, like choosing the right coffee, can create powerful shifts in your health and quality of life. When you replace flavored packets, chemical creamers, or unfiltered brews with safer choices, your body responds quickly. Within weeks, cholesterol levels can improve. Within months, memory feels sharper, steps steadier, and mornings more energetic. These changes are not just numbers on a lab report. They are the difference between needing a walker and walking with confidence, between feeling exhausted by noon and having the energy to play with your grandchildren. Coffee, prepared wisely, becomes more than a drink. It becomes a symbol of taking back control. It shows that even after 60, you are not powerless. Your choices still matter. In fact, they matter now more than ever, because each habit directly shapes the years ahead. I have seen patients in their 70s and 80s embrace this hope. They added collagen to their coffee and found new strength in their legs. They switched to cold brew and no longer feared stomach pain. They chose organic Arabica and saw their blood sugar stabilize. These victories were not small. They changed lives. So I ask you, do you feel that spark of hope rising when you realize tomorrow morning's cup can protect your brain and preserve your strength? Will you choose to make that shift? Share your feelings in the comments. Tell us if you are ready to turn your daily coffee into a healing companion. Remember this, the past does not define your future. With one thoughtful decision at a time, you can protect your brain before it needs saving. Keep your muscles strong and live your years with clarity and dignity. Coffee after 60 can be your reminder that change is always possible. As we close this conversation, I want you to take one message with you. Your health is not fixed, and your mornings are more powerful than you realize. Every cup of coffee after 60 is either working for you or against you. When you choose the right type, brewed the right way, you are not just protecting your arteries or steadying your blood sugar. You are sending a message to your brain, your heart, and your muscles. I am still in charge of my health. Over my 30 years of practice, I have seen people reclaim clarity, strength, and independence with small, steady changes. Coffee became more than a drink. It became a turning point, and I believe it can be that for you too. If today's message feels heavy, I want to offer encouragement. It is never too late to start again. Whether you are 62 or 82, your body can heal. With patience and the right choices, cholesterol can improve, memory can sharpen, and muscles can regain strength. You still have time to write a healthier story for yourself. So I invite you to reflect. What does your morning coffee mean to you? Does it leave you energized? Or does it leave you feeling shaky and drained? Share your thoughts and feelings in the comments. I will read them, and I know your reflections will touch others who are walking the same path. Together, we can create a circle of encouragement where no one feels alone. And if this video helped you, please give it a like, share it with a friend, and subscribe to this channel. Your support helps us keep spreading healing knowledge. Finally, if you found value in learning which coffees to avoid and which ones to embrace, you will not want to miss our next video. Or cheeses destroy your health, 4 save your life. In that video, I will reveal the hidden dangers in certain cheeses that quietly harm seniors, and the surprising choices that can strengthen bones, protect the brain, and support muscle health. Your mornings matter, and so does your health. Let us walk this journey together. One small change, one thoughtful choice, one healing day at a time.